On this episode of Street Rat Garage, we are back with a 1973 Mustang Mach 1 that I should not have parked underneath a tree. So today we're back with the Mach 1, which unfortunately, like a whole bunch of my other projects, we got it running and then we just set it here and forgot about it for about a year. So it hasn't run, and I parked it underneath of this stupid tree. Fall came and so did all the needles. Fell right on the car. Don't park under these trees. Now, I did make some other videos on this car. I believe we have 3 other videos that you can go back and look at. It sat on a trailer for like 15 years and we got it running and moving after all that time. And then we cleaned it up and did some body work on it, which a lot of people were not happy about. So if you want to see those, go back and look. But today we are going to get in here and fix something. I don't know what we're going to do. We have problems. We have freeze plugs. That was one of the other problems that had freeze plugs were all blown out. The quarter panel, we fixed that quarter panel. That's the thing I was talking about. We did a very bad job of putting a quarter panel on there. If you want to see that, hey, go look at that, but that'll be fixed someday. But this thing is filthy. So brakes, we don't have a good fuel system, the freeze plugs. So those are some of the things that we need to address on this car in order to get it back out on the road and driving. We didn't get to take our test drive around the block, nothing. We just got it going and then pushed it to the side like all the other projects and just let it sit there. So we need to get back on some of this stuff, make everything road worthy. Well, definitely the first thing we need to do is come in here and get some of this mess out of the way. So yeah, it is not good to leave these pine needles sitting on a car, because look here, there's moisture, there's dirt, and it traps it and it just keeps it on the car and it rusts the body panels. So this is probably one of the worst places you can park a car, is underneath one of these trees like this. I mean, just about any tree is a bad place to park up underneath of it, but I mean, this is full. I mean, it is absolutely full of stuff. So I'm gonna sweep all of this stuff off. It's all over the back too. It is a mess. Wow. This was looking pretty good in one of our videos, but right now it is just filthy. I mean, just look at this. I mean, this stuff is everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm gonna brush some of this off more. We'll open up the hood and we'll probably find a bunch more of it underneath of there. So let's get this cleaned up. Let's get the tires aired up and get this in the garage and start working on it. I brushed it off as best as I could. Not really as best I could, because I definitely could have done a lot better, but I brushed it off. Let's just go with that. Okay, yeah, there's a whole bunch of pine needles underneath of here too. I mean, right in there. And again, just a bad place to park the car. This is all dirt and moisture where the pine needles were sitting. I pulled a bunch of those out, but look at that. What is that there? Probably something living in there. Anything in there? Yeah, I don't know if there's anything living in there, but could be. Seems like something made a nest. Just pine needles everywhere, leaves everywhere. This is all clean. Oh yeah, see, look, those nuts and those shavings, that's a squirrel or chipmunk or something. He was living up in here and had all his food stored up in here. Yeah, probably chewing on some of the wires as well. Bad place. We're not parking it back here. If we do park it under here, we're gonna put a tarp on it. So we'll just clean this up as much as I can. I don't want to start this up with all these leaves underneath of here. I have caught enough cars on fire that it's no longer fun for me. So, okay, when we get this running, we'll take it up to by the shop, we'll put the air hose on it, and we'll blow some of this stuff off. Unfortunately, We don't have a good source of water up here, so we don't have a pressure washer to clean this up as need be, but we'll blow it all out and get it running, and then we'll start to work on this. Okay, I got our air pump hooked up from Harbor Freight, of course, and we're going to air these tires up. It's just these two that are flat. The other two are fine. Then we'll work on getting this thing hopefully started back up again. I hope it still runs after, you know, all this time. But like I said before, if you want to see the revival on this car, just go to the videos, just hit the video button at the main screen of my channel. Also, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of people that are watching the videos that aren't subscribed, and you're missing out on all the other stuff we have. You know, we have Chevelles. If you like Fords, we have a Ford Maverick, and Dodge. We have all that stuff. I'm not biased. I like all of the Buicks, the GMs, Chevys. I even have a Volkswagen and a Toyota and a Volvo, which Volvo's just my daily driver. You don't see that, but it doesn't matter, just as long as it's a car and it drives. Well, actually it doesn't have to drive either. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button now so you don't forget about it. Almost done with the tires here. It was actually 3. That back one was flat as well, but this is the only one that wasn't flat. While I was looking at it, I found this guy right here. He's not in there anymore. That's just a shell. I don't know what it is, but I've seen these before. So yeah, he's gone. There we go. I don't know what it's called. If you know what it's called, put it in the comments below. And I don't know what it turns into. Does it just become a bigger one than what it was already? I don't know. But they're on trees. They're all over the place here. Anyway, let's get this tire finished up, and now we're going to stick a battery in here and see if it still cranks over. Now it is battery time. We will just drop this guy in here. Which way does it go? Where's the negative? I hope the squirrel or giraffe or whatever didn't eat that. Where's that? There it is. So negative is short and tied off to the bulkhead, so it doesn't move very far. So it has to go towards the front. So I'm gonna drop this one right in here. Right in here. There it goes. Okay, and battery is hooked up. There we go. So this runs off a gas can that's underneath the hood here. So the fuel pump does work on this one. This is one I don't have to use a boat tank on. But last time when we had this running, we hooked up this gas can. I already put some gas into that gas can. And now I have a little bit here for the old carburetor. There we go. That was a lot. Okay, that's fine. Fires are good. And, well, nothing left to do but to see if it'll start now. I'm going to go jump in the car here, and you stay out there and let me know if it catches on fire. Okay, there we go. Come on. Come on. Well, nothing so far. Well, stuttered a little bit. Maybe we need to add a little bit more gas to it. Maybe I should just pump it. Or maybe I just need to wait for the fuel pump. Come on. Let's add some gas to it. And we will just put a little more gasoline. Not that I didn't put too much in it to begin with, but I don't know. And oh look, it's dripping at the accelerator pump. That's not good. Well, fortunately I did bring a little bit of water here, so if things go fiery, at least we can have a drink while we watch it burn. Okay, here we go again. Give it another try. Oh, get in here. Come on. Pump, pump, pump. Pump, pump, pump. Come on. Pump, pump, pump. Nothing. Why is it not doing anything? Oh. Huh. Well, I think maybe we have some carburetor issues. Well, we shouldn't, it should still fire. Maybe the spark plugs, I don't know what happened. Maybe we fouled out some plugs. I don't think it was running great last time, but look at how much fuel is leaking out there. One spark and we are done for. Plus we got all this sawdust here to help fan the flames. So I think what we're gonna do is play it smart for a change and just hook the chain to it, and we'll just pull it up to the garage and then start working on it. Yeah, I definitely think this is the smarter route to go because things are not looking well right now. Okay, I just hooked that to the car. Let's close this hood up a little bit and get this thing towed up to the shop. Okay, now we're ready. Let's just slowly pull forward here a little bit. Come on, easy does it. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on out of there. Come on out of your hole. Oh, come on. Did I take it out of gear? Am I that dumb? Hold on a minute. Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I am that dumb. And I did not even take it out of gear. There we go. That's going to make it move so much easier. Okay, where was I before I was interrupted by stupidity? Oh yeah, trying to move the car. Now that it's not in gear. Whoops, there she goes. Come on, follow me. I'm gonna have to jump in and out and make some turns. I think we need to put this in time lapse. Definitely time lapse. I need some music. All right, we made it into the garage. We rode the struggle bus a little bit longer than we should have on that one. I think there's a brake locked up somewhere because this is on a flat surface and she's not moving very good. I can't push it by hand. So brakes are definitely something we're gonna have to check out all the way around and get a parts list of what we need. All right, we are safe and secure inside, so I think I'm gonna jack this up and put it on the jack stands. Maybe take these wheels off and look and see why our brakes are so stiff. We need to look at our master cylinder too. Last time we put a new master cylinder on it, but we had a line that was a different size, so we need to get that straightened out so we have some fluid going down so we can check and see if our brakes work, which we know that they don't right now, but we may have to order some parts, so we're gonna have to see what we need. All right, let's get this guy underneath of here. We're underneath this rusty front brace and get it jacked up in the air here. Put some stands on it and let's see what we got going on. Now that we have it jacked up in the air, let's go ahead and pull these wheels off and see what we have for as far as brakes on this thing. I think it has discs on the front and drums on the back. Mach1 should have had discs on the front, right? You would think so. But let's find out real quick. Yeah, got discs on the front, which are incredibly rusty. So have a look at these guys right here. Not moving at all. Nope, there it goes. Well, dragging pretty good. If the other side's the same, that could be a problem. So yeah, we're gonna have to definitely get some pads. We should get some rotors. Those are pitted really bad. That's going to be on our list of things to get. Wow. Probably lines, I imagine, are going to be bad. The rubber lines should be shot at this point, sitting this long. And this, I don't know what's going on here, but that's not good either. Let me take off the other side real quick. We'll look at it as well. All right, time for the other side here. Pretty much the same thing, except this one spins free. The other one is getting hung up just a little bit, but I don't think that's our problem. I think our problem is probably on the back because it was not moving. And this one rotates pretty good. That one kind of rotates. But yeah, look at this real quick. It's pretty much the same thing as the other side. Look at all this oxidation from the aluminum aftermarket rim. These rims are aluminum, and when they're up against that steel for a long period of time, the two dissimilar metals just do not get along, and they oxidize. Also, another thing, when you have these aftermarkets, they have these guys right here. So this is a unilug wheel, as you can see here, and these are the little slugs that go in it. So you get these slugs, and they sort of place the fitment of your wheel. Now, when you buy these things online, oftentimes they won't have these little slugs with them. So people are putting these rims on their cars without these slugs, and it's got all this slop in it. And that starts to loosen up and starts to vibrate around, and then pretty soon your lug nuts come loose, and whoo, there goes your wheel. So if you buy aftermarket rims, Kragers especially, you need to make sure you can get these, or it comes with these slugs in it, so it places the wheel properly and takes up that slack. Well, I think I found out where our sticky tire is, right about there. I tried to take these lug nuts off, and they were stuck a little bit with the impact, so I brought out the pry bar, and there it goes. Yeah, that barely moving when I put the pry bar on it, even though I'm just trying to bust these lug nuts loose. Come on. Now it's not sticky enough to get that lug nut off of there. Come on. Impact just is not getting it. Oh, there it goes. Guess it took a combination of both. That one busted free. Let's see if we can get this. There we go. Now it's starting to come loose. There we go. But yeah, that back brake drum is definitely hanging up real good. Not turning by hand now. Let's come to the other side and see if we can bust these guys loose. See if this drum is also frozen up, which it probably is. And we'll probably have to change everything, all the hardware, all the way around. But sitting for 15 years, you would expect to have to do that. First of all, oh, that one actually turns. That's not so bad. It's just that one over there. So this is the passenger side. So passenger side back turns. The passenger side front is stiff. Driver's side back, definitely super sticky, but the driver's side front is free. So it's angled, kind of weird. Anyway, should we bust these drums off or leave them alone for now? I think we're going to leave them alone for now. That's a can of worms that we shall open up a little bit later. So that's going to start our list on things we need to order from the Amazonians. Everything having to do with brakes pretty much, except the master cylinder, which we already ordered from them, and now it's all rusty because we didn't paint it or anything. And we have to hook up the one brake line. Let me show that to you real quick. So right here is pretty much where I had the problem, and now that doesn't even turn anymore, so we got to spray that. So the problem is the old master cylinder had one big fitting and one small fitting. This one has two small fittings. What do? We either find an adapter or we this off and put a new fitting on and have to flare it, and I don't even think I have a flare tool up here. I don't know. Anyway, we need to get to work on this, find out what we need, and get this taken care of, and then we can pump the brakes and see if anything works, and I doubt it. Now, it's not much fun working on a disgusting engine, so we're gonna vacuum it out a little bit and get rid of some of this junk, make it a little bit more tolerable to work on. Try not to suck up any of the gasoline that's spilled on the intake, because electricity and gasoline does not work well together. And done with that. So it took me like 15 minutes of just vacuuming this to get it to this state, and it's not great. Well, now I'm going to just come in here and hit this everything with some PB Blaster, maybe hit some of the linkage and I don't know, just everything, just hit it. Because, you know, rust. Probably come in here and, I don't know, do this down here as well. Just because it all needs to be replaced. Maybe it'll make it easier coming out. I don't know if I can get in there behind that drum. Can you get behind that drum? Let's see. Oh, it's dark back there. A little bit. So I'm shooting just behind that crack in the drum. Maybe get a little penetration when I try to beat that drum off. That's going to be a pain. I'll hit the other sides as well, but this is not going to be fun, not even a little bit. I'll hit, whoops, wow, that just went the wrong way. Let me hit these guys as well. These, I just noticed this. These are loose. Why is that like that? That's weird. What do we have? We have struts on there. Huh, coilover shocks. That probably needs to be replaced. We probably need to put that on our list as well, so might as well soak some of that down. The list is growing. The Amazonians are going to be pretty happy with us by the time we get done with this list. Wiper motor probably doesn't work. What else doesn't work? What about the solenoid? Solenoid still works. Mick cranked. Okay. What about the radiator? Is the radiator still good? And the freeze plugs. We forgot all about the freeze plugs. So this sat for 15 years. Apparently somebody didn't put coolant in it. And like every single freeze plug is like out of this thing. I replaced like 3 of them. And I think there might be one that I can't get to. And we may have to yank this engine out in order to get to it. So, oh, I know what I did. That's why that's missing. See that brace right there? I forgot all about it. I had to take that brace out in order to get this master cylinder in. That's why that is missing. And hopefully it's in the trunk somewhere. I don't know what I did with that. Anyway, okay, let's get to working on this master cylinder. So I'm just gonna come in here and work this, hopefully work this fitting back and forth. Yeah, there it goes. Good thing we sprayed that. Now it's rotating. So make sure that rotates good. I'm going to pull this other one out and see if we have a fitting that we can adapt this to, because I don't want to get into making a new flare and not everything, because this line's not that long in it. That's not going to do good. I just need to find an adapter. That's what I need. Okay, here's the deal. So I don't have an adapter to go from this big half-inch, I think half-inch 20 down to whatever smaller fitting that is. Excuse me. I went to the store, hardware store. They don't have it. Auto parts store, they don't have it. So we need to do something. What that something is we're probably going to have to cut into this line. We're going to have to cut this line and put the appropriate fitting on there, or we have to buy the right master cylinder that has the big fitting and the small fitting, which I don't know. I thought this was, I ordered this for this car, and you would have figured that this would work with the proper fittings, but no, it doesn't. So now we're going to have to take some time and think about what we're going to do in this situation. We're going to put this on our list. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to make a list. So we know that we need brake pads, probably brake calipers. We should just go ahead and get brake calipers. I wanted to put this together and test out everything to see, do the brake calipers work? What drum parts do we need? But then I got thinking about it. You know, this is sitting for over 15 years. None of it works. So why not just order everything, and then you know you have everything. Brake lines, we need rubber brake lines, we need calipers, we need rotors, we need drums, we need drum hardware kits, drum shoes. What else do we need? Wheel bearings? Does it come with wheel bearings? Wheel bearings. Wheel bearings, we need wheel bearings. We need a rebuild kit. Probably should just buy a whole rebuild kit for this carburetor and go through it. The accelerator pump is just pouring gas everywhere. So we can't even start it at this point, or we should not start it at this point. Probably need spark plugs. More stuff. Oh, the gas tank. So the gas tank isn't hooked up, and it's 15 years old. So are the lines, so is everything else. So we're gonna have to look at that too. So first, let's get these back brake drums off. Let's see if we can get these back brake drums off and inspect what's going on back there. So at this point, with all the running around I had to do, it's probably been a couple hours that this has been sitting, and I put that PB blaster down it, but I don't think it really spread that far. And I think this is going to be a little bit difficult to get off. I mean, it still turns, it just, I mean, I can't turn it by hand. Oh, it looks like it's on there really good. And I'm afraid that I'm gonna wind up breaking the drum, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal because we're probably gonna order new drums, because I seriously doubt that this is in any shape to just resurface and use again. That would be nice. But it's already starting to chip a little bit on the back. So it's not going to come off easy. Just what I'm saying. So I'm just going to take, like, you know, a half an hour and beat on this thing. And then probably take the big hammer and just break the whole thing apart. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. So I'll be back in a minute with the results. Okay, I did go get the bigger hammer, and that seemed to have done the trick. I just got it to come loose, and there's a little bit of brake dust in there that probably wasn't helping matters. But let's take a look here. It's not that bad. Come in here and look, and we can see that, I mean, it doesn't look awful. The brake shoes are actually about half worn. I'm sure this master cylinder is probably not any good, but everything appears to be there and in pretty good shape. It was just stuck real good onto this this rusty drum. I did wind up taking a chunk out of the drum and bending this, but the inner liner, I mean, the inner liner is still good. We could still use that. And we could just, I mean, it's tweaked a little bit right here. But we can ding that back out, and we could probably, you know what, I don't know, we'll order another one probably. Anyway, so let's go ahead get the other side off. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get the other side off. It should come off a lot easier. See, now that turns no problem. Okay, side 2. I wonder if it just, no, of course it doesn't just slide off. What was I thinking? I'm gonna go ahead and start with a big hammer. Oh yeah, this weight, this counterweight, I did knock this off of the other side when I was hitting it. There's a big weight here to help balance the drum right there. I smacked it with a hammer and it just fell off. So yeah, we definitely need to get another drum for that anyway. Okay, time for the passenger side here. Take our big hammer, make sure we got a good swinging space here. Come on. Woo. That one's on there. But what I did is I tapped this side to break up the rust. Give it a few vibrates. It's going to help loosen things up. Okay. Boy, that's got a lot of brake dust in it too. It's just pouring out the bottom. Oh, well, look at that. That's all it needed. Just some beating on the outside. A lot of brake dust there too. Oh, a lot of brake dust. Let's come in here and have a look at this side. It's dry, which is what you want to see. About the same thing on the brake pad, so they were wearing evenly. I mean, it's kind of pushed out. The pins are kind of pushed out on the master cylinder, the wheel cylinders. Spring kit, master cylinder. I keep saying master cylinder. Wheel cylinders. Spring kit, wheel cylinders for the back. Let's just go ahead and replace that. So it's done, and we won't have to worry about it, because if we take this off, we'll probably look inside and it's going to be all gunky inside. It's not going to work. You know it's not going to work. I mean, this drum is not so bad. Actually, it's pretty good. But just replace it. Just get it done while you're ordering parts. What's a few more dollars, huh? If I was on a budget, maybe we could, well, I know we could clean all this up. We could use these brake shoes. We could use these springs. These springs are fine. All that we may have to do, we could even come in here and pull this wheel cylinder out, clean it all up, and you know, make sure the seals are decent. We probably could use that again, but sometimes it's just easier to replace the parts. Do we have rubber brake lines on this? Oh, it's so dark under here. Well, I'll have to let you know. But what we do have is these old school slapper bars, traction bars, what they called them. And those are still pretty cool. I have another set that I had for the Maverick that I never installed, but I kind of like to take these off and clean them up sometime and paint them like, you know, they probably were yellow or something. These are in good shape. I don't know if these actually ever worked and helped your traction, the wheel hop, but they look cool. So maybe we should jack it up in the back end, paint the slapper bars, and put some big fat meats on it. That would look pretty cool. Now let's come in here again and look at our fronts. This one, remember this one turned pretty good, but there's like no brake pad on the front of this at all. And these are 8 up. They're done. So we're not, and they're not even very thick. I mean, maybe these were turned a couple times. These seem really thin. We're not going to get any more out of that. So we're just definitely going to replace these rotors, these calipers, and see, these are the rubber brake lines, which you let a car sit like probably 5 years, I would say, would be your maximum amount of time of letting something sit before these collapse internally. And then when you're pushing, you're probably not going to get anything, no fluid. It's just going to be rock hard until you push real hard and just blow this out or something. But oh, it's no big deal we didn't get the master cylinder, because this probably didn't work at all. And then all the fluid would have fell out the back, out the front, and then we would have just been mad anyway. We should think about replacing these coilovers. We're probably not going to, but we should think about it, definitely. Okay, added to the list. Brake discs and yeah, what's this thing called? Yeah, caliper. I just said it. Well, doesn't seem to be a bunch of play in there, so that's a good thing. Hopefully it'll go down the road straight. We are really adding up things on the parts list. And after we get this running again, we're gonna have to clean it. It has sap from that pine tree all over it. I mean, I can't even get some of these needles off of it because the needles are stuck in the pine sap. It's got, like, you know, that moldy stuff. It's got from where the pine needles set on it. I had this, I'm mad at myself because I had this all shiny. I spent like 2 hours just buffing this car out and getting that, getting the patina right and making it look really good. And then, just like every other car YouTuber, I shoved it to the side and let it sit. I mean, why do car YouTubers do that all the time? I mean, you've seen them go out, rescue a car, and this is set for 20 years, and now we got it going again. We're gonna drive it home and set it in our backyard and pretty much forget about it because we have to move on to the next project. And then don't even bother to, you know, sell it while it's running. That's crazy. So I have decided to not buy so many new projects, revivals as it were, and work on some of the revivals that I have already revived and left to sit and rot in the back 40 back here. So I think more car YouTubers should do that. It's like, man, you got 20 cars, you got 40 cars, you got 50 cars. Fix those. Don't let them sit again and just be neglected after you spend all that time and effort getting them going. Like this, just like this. Don't do that. Now, of course, if it's a really good deal, it's going to be kind of hard to pass it up, but I'm going to try my best. Make this stuff run. If I can't continue on it, just sell it. Give it to the next guy. Let him enjoy it. Don't let the car sit. All right, rant over. So let's get back to doing things on this car. So we're kind of at a stop a little bit. We got a whole bunch of stuff on our list that we need to buy. But let me show you also the interior and what also happens when you let things sit. All right, so the interior. Well, first of all, it wasn't like this. I mean, it was war, but it was covered. So whatever was eating underneath of the hood apparently needed a place to sleep. So I imagine this was it. And yeah, this was all clean and nice. I detailed, you know, as best I could. Well, it's kind of dark in here, but everything was nice and clean in here. And now everything is absolutely filthy and disgusting again. So we're pretty much starting over from scratch. And I have to do something with this. This is a disaster as well. Now, I also have not bothered to look in the trunk since we last had it out and about. So hopefully there's nothing living in there. Okay, we're good, I think. It's dark in there. It's dark. Yep. I think we're good. There's only one nutshell in there. Oh, look at that though. Oh my gosh. Yuck. More of the old dirty wet pine needles that would definitely rot out this whole section. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, there's so much. We're gonna have to get the vacuum out and clean all this up. And this too. Look how much there is. Crazy. Well, that's better, but I think I'm gonna have to take all this out by hand. This is just too much. Where the vacuum is stuck up, it's gonna get clogged. So we'll take out the big pieces. Okay. Oh look, the bumper's not bolted on. I forgot about that. I could have just done that to begin with. Okay, I'm gonna dump this real quick. Okay, now I can come and finish up with the vacuum. The rest of this stuff. I forgot I didn't have the bumper bolted on, or it was never bolted on because somebody was gonna repair on the quarter panel. And then just took some parts off. And then bolted that back on, and I just sort of shoved it up there. Let's just jump under here real quick and have a look at our gas tank. Yeah, I just have this held up by one jack stand and the jack in the back because I only have 3. I'll have to bring another one. I mean, it doesn't sound like there's a bunch of rust jumping up inside of there, and lines are solid. I like this setup with the filler right here where you can get to it. Ford was thinking about this one, and other people on down the line, and like a, you know, unfortunately GM wasn't. And if we come over here and follow this line, can't see it very well, but this is the fuel line right here. It seems to be in pretty good shape. Yeah, everything seems to be pretty good. I think we might get lucky with the gas tank. Next time we'll come and we'll fill the gas tank. Well, not fill it, but we'll put gas in it and then hook it up to, you know, our fuel pump when our car's running, and see if we get some nice fuel coming out of it. If we do, hey, win. If not, then we'll order parts. For the people that have not watched the previous videos on this, this is our pop riveted on quarter panel. Yes, I pop riveted this on. It's just stuck on there. Now, I'll tell you why. If you look real close here, actually you don't even have to look real close, but this is all caved in. There was a bunch of Bondo here, and this is probably, can you get some depth on that? This is probably half the end of my finger deep, and this was all Bondo. And I mean, you can even see the gap. I mean, this quarter panel should come all the way out to about there, and all of this was nothing but Bondo. You can see it goes up this high to where they had to fade it in, blend it in. So it's messed up here, all the way down here. So this entire quarter panel needs to be replaced. This quarter panel came with the car, and I'm pretty sure they were going to put this on, and then they ground this out and found out that there was so much Bondo on it, and the quarter panel is actually cut probably in this area, and there was a big hole here. So this was already with the car, and I needed to cover up this big hole, so I just pop riveted it on. No big deal. Well, I got some comments. There's a lot of people really unhappy about what I did to my car. And I explained it in another video. This is just temporary. It's no big deal. So I'm gonna explain it again. This is just temporary. It's no big deal. This is just covering it up so we can, you know, play with it for a little while until we cut all of this off and redo it all. So it's no big deal. Don't get upset about it. It's just temporary for about 5 or 6 years, and then we'll fix it. Probably. Maybe. Probably not, actually. Anyhow, I think, so we don't make this video too long, we're gonna have to cut it off there for this episode. And I will go back and start ordering parts. Then next time we will start putting all of this back together. We will get this car running again, stopping again, shifting again, make sure it shifts. We don't even know if the transmission's good because I was never able to take it out of the yard to test drive it because no brakes. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Stay tuned.